Customer journey touchpoints can sound a little bit like business jargon, but really it just describes the interaction that we have with a company before, during, and after a purchase. So, some examples of these interactions might include onboarding, online reviews, intro comms, word of mouth, email marketing, the list goes on. There are countless interactions that customers have with businesses, which each shape our feelings towards them as a brand. So, what influence do touch points have on purchase decisions? So, I want to take you through my own recent experience where customer touch points held a lot of weight in my decision making. Last week, I made one of the biggest purchases of my life, a Peugeot Boxer van for a conversion project. Now, this is a huge investment for me, so I needed to be sure that I was making the right decision. So, here's an example of what the customer journey touch points look like for me. So, buying the van. First of all, I've got to find the right van online. So, what language do they use to describe the van? How much information is there available? And what's the quality of the photographs like? Then I would look at their Google reviews. Do they have high reviews? How do they respond to reviews? And importantly, how do they handle complaints? Are they defensive or do they address the issues? Calling up. What's their phone manner like? Do they seem interested in me? Are they just after a quick sale? Actually visiting. So, are they helpful? Are they friendly? Are they honest? Do I feel comfortable or do I feel intimidated? What does their sales office look like? Does it give a good impression? Then the follow up. Are they pushy? Do they answer my questions? Do they give me time to think about my options? And how do they respond? Is it WhatsApp, email? Have they taken the time to figure out how I want to be communicated with? Then I might look at their social media reviews. So, what do other people say about their experiences with them? And are they even active on social? Then the big one, actually buying the van. Do they do the work that they've promised they'll do before purchase? Do they really understand how much the purchase means to me? Then the aftercare. Do I ever hear from them again after purchasing? And do they show any interest in my conversion project and what I'm going to do with the van? By mapping out all these points, you start to see just how valuable every touch point is in the overall purchase decision and just how many touch points there are that the customer experiences. So, for example, one of the van dealerships that I visited had a van that on paper was perfect. It had all the specs and came in just under budget. Now, I travelled 3 hours for a viewing, yet walked away without making a purchase. Why? Because the customer journey was a letdown. Online, the experience was slick, informative, and professional, but the in person experience was the complete opposite. So, in the end, I went with a dealership that completely nailed the customer journey. They opened up out of hours so that I could view the van. They kept us updated with the progress, and they even gave us some recommendations for the conversion project. Now, this is a perfect example of why every touch point counts, and an important reminder that you're only ever as strong as your weakest touch point. So, how do you map out your own customer journey touch points? The first step is to actually know what they are. This is where you need to step into your customers and your prospective customers' shoes. What do they experience? Where do they go to find out about you? Do some digging. It can feel like a huge task, mapping out every interaction your customers experience, but it's important. So, here are some tips to make it feel a bit more manageable. Step one, start by exploring the interactions that your customers have before they make a purchase. So, social media, what communications might they see from you? Does your company's social media reflect who you are as a business? What do others say about you on social media, and how do you respond? Your online reviews, are they positive? And do negative reviews have clear, actionable responses? Your website, is it easy for them to find the information they're looking for? Now, a good thing to do here is to get somebody external who isn't familiar with your website to review it for you. They can tell you honestly, is it easy to navigate? And finally, communication. Are you easy to get in touch with? Are you responding quickly to any questions that they ask? And do your answers actually give them the information they need? Do you find out how they want to communicate with you? We all have different communication preferences, so are you offering multiple options? Number two, take a look at every communication that you have at the point of purchase. So, your sales communications, what do they receive from sales? Does every piece of communication reflect your brand in the way that you would like? And are those communications consistent for every customer? The contract, does this look professional and on brand? Is it presented in a way that creates an excellent first impression? Signing up, is the process easy and pain free? Are there any additional measures that could be implemented to make this process more seamless for the customer? And information. Do they have all the information they need to get started? And is it clear where they should go if they have a question? And finally, number three, take a look at every interaction the customer has after making a purchase. So your follow-up comms. Do you make a sale and then never speak to the customer again unless they have a problem? Or are you checking in with them to see how they're getting on with your product or service? Now, customer retention is hard work, but it can be made easier by building the foundations of a solid relationship right from the off. Training, if it's relevant for your offering, do talk to them about training opportunities on how to get the most out of their new purchase. Support. It's fairly common for some new customers to need an extra hand when they first sign up. Now, is it clear how they can get that support? Does the customer feel unique and that it's tailored for them? Do they feel cared about just as much as they did when you were signing them up? And then the ongoing comms. Do you keep them up to date with insights, changes, and valuable information? Now, as a team, we are incredibly passionate about this at Eve Networks, getting the customer touchpoints right to create an excellent experience. So if you've heard this video today and you share that passion and want to make your own customer touchpoints exceptional, get in touch by letting us know in the comments and let's work it out together.